What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with another Vintage Collection price guide and market update. Lots of graded TVC sold, including some items that you don't see graded very often, so we'll dig into all of that towards the end of the video. We're going to start off with ungraded examples, and then we'll transition over into the AFA and CAS graded examples. As always, thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys allow me to make more and better videos, and you guys get my videos 24 hours early access. Patreon.com/actionfiguregrader is where you can go to sign up. I can't even remember my own Patreon website. That's how out of it I am today. Let's go ahead and take a look. The first one we've got is a VC29 Kit Fisto US card unpunched. There was some wave to the card, as you can see towards the top there. It looks like it might have had one little spider vein to the right-hand side of the hanger tab. So you got to look at these really closely. This one also had a little ding in the lower right-hand corner. So here's the back of the card. Again, you can see the wave to the card that's very pronounced on the top, as well as on the bottom over by the proof of purchase there. A little bit of edge wear here and there. It's still sold for $110, and that's down a little bit, obviously, because of the condition issues. We documented one that sold here recently for, I think it was $140, if memory serves. So nice looking example, though. Great looking card. One I don't have. Here is the Senate Guard, and this one was VC36 unpunched US card back again. Really great shape, just some late edge wear on the sides of the card there at the bottom, and then on the right-hand side on the back. But very clean looking example. Great card image there. There's two different card images for the Senate Guard. One that's kind of far away like this one, and then a closer up shot. But this far away shot, alternate image, Senate Guard sold for $125, free shipping. Next up is Commander Gree. This one definitely had some condition issues as well. Still sold for $175, which seems a little high just given the issues to it. It's got some card wave and then some pretty pronounced edge wear on the left-hand side and on the top of the card, as well as on the bottom of the card. So by no means mint. This is probably at best an 80 grade Commander Gree, but it's still sold for $175 plus $10.50 shipping in a buy it now situation. Next up, this seller had 3 of the VC54 Expanded Universe ARC Trooper Commander unpunched US card back with the Darth Maul offer sticker on the front. He had 3. One of them did sell for $215, which seems really high to me. I mean, we've documented a few that have sold in that $140 to $150 range here fairly recently, too. I think we saw 2 in the last video, or maybe it was 2 videos before that. So to me, $215 seems high. That's just my personal opinion. It seems a little high to me. But he does still have 2 available. This one did have some edge wear as well, as you can see. So by no means perfect. And to me, you just got to be patient, wait for an auction on this one. It's not very hard to find. It seems to crop up fairly often on the secondary market. Next up is the Clone Trooper 501st Legion unpunched US card, again with the Darth Maul offer sticker. This seller had 3 of them, and all 3 of them sold for $205. So big numbers for the 501st Legion, as well as the ARC Trooper Commander Expanded Universe VC54. So just seems a little high to me, but great looking card image without a doubt. 501st Legion with the Darth Maul offer. Again, it was a US card unpunched. Ponda Baba, that's another one that we have documented here fairly recently, and this one kind of sold right in line with the last one that sold. Again, it was an unpunched US card back, and it did have the prototype Boba Fett mail-away offer sticker on the front, right over his big, ugly, butt-cheek face. So, anyway, that one did sell for $145 free shipping. Next up is Starkiller, VC100. We all saw the recent Hasbro live stream reveal that this one is coming back on the Expanded Universe card back. It will not have, obviously, the offer sticker that this one is usually known to have, the Darth Maul offer sticker. This one sold in an auction, $177.61 on 26 bids. I would expect, personally, this one to start to drop in price. I bet we start to see $125, $150, and then probably in the $125s as we get closer to the Starkiller's reissue starting to hit retail. So it is going to be, as we've talked about in past videos, it's not going to be available for pre-order. So how many of these Hasbro decides to make, who knows? How hard will it be to pick up once those orders go live? Who knows? But To me, I just think that the first issue Star Killer is destined to fall just like the rest of them, like Ahsoka and Shea Vizsla and some of those others that all kind of seem to drop in price a little bit once the reissue hits the market. Next up is Neon Numb VC106 unpunched US cardback. Looked to be in really clean shape overall. That one sold for 110 plus 640 shipping. That to me is right in line with market. I mean, it seems to be kind of hovering in that $100 to $120 price range. He always seems so small inside the blister. Maybe it's just me. I mean, I know he's not that tall of a character in the movie, but there's something about him and C-3PO in the vintage collection that just look too tiny to me. But that's just me. But there's some great stories in the expanded universe about Neon Numb and his time on Sullust, acting as kind of a revolutionary, and the Imperials labeled him as a terrorist, and he would set up like booby traps and bombs and things like that. So really interesting backstory for some of those books. I couldn't tell you which book it was where I read about him, but I want to say it was in Twilight. It was either in Twilight Company or it was in the Alphabet Squadron trilogy, if memory serves. I could be wrong on that, but Neon Numb's got a really great backstory in some of the expanded universe novels. But great looking card. Again, $110 plus 640 shipping. Weequay, that's another one that's probably going to have the same fate as Star Killer and some of these other reissues, and it already has dropped quite a bit. This Weequay sold for $109. It was the unpunched US cardback plus $7 shipping. And if you remember, probably early to mid last year, this one kind of topped out at over $200, believe it or not. So this one has really dropped in price, and now's a great time if you are into making sure you have the original issue of certain vintage collection figures. Now's a really good time to pick up Weequay as well as the Weequay Skiff Master, which I actually like the card back on the Skiff Master Weequay better than I do this one, but they're both really nice, don't get me wrong. So anyway, $110 plus $7 shipping. Jar Jar Binks, this one surprised me on the upper end of the scale. VC108, this was an unpunched US card as well, and that one sold in an auction for $167.50. So that's a little higher than where this one had been going. Kind of 120 to 140 was kind of the number in my mind as to what this one was worth, but totally wrong on that apparently, because this one sold for big money, $167.50. Princess Leia in her Bespin gown, VC111. That one sold for $120 plus $7 shipping. Again, that's kind of right in line with market. It seems to be kind of staying in that price point. Unpunched US card back again. Next up is Pruneface Oromarco, $108.50. Took this one home plus $10 shipping. VC114. That's a gorgeous card back and a great looking figure too. I mean, just a lot of good detail on that prune face, and this card looked to be in pretty fantastic condition. Maybe just a little bit of scuffing up there by the hang tab, but overall a really great looking card. It looks like down here in this lower corner, let's see if we can get a good zoom on it. That lower corner looks like it might have a soft bend. So, but again, $100 to $125, that again seems to be the going rate for VC114. Now we're going to dig into some graded items, and some of the prices were all over the map. I mean, I just was really surprised at the upper end of the scale as well as the lower end of the scale. This one kind of went right in line with market. This is Rey Jakku from The Force Awakens, and that one was only a CAS 85. It had an 80 subscore, so that probably kept the price down a little bit. 90, 80, 90 were the subscores for an overall 85. Unpunched. And that one was listed for $125, and the best offer that was accepted was $95 free shipping. I mean, you got to remember that at CAS and AFA, it's $55 to $60 to grade these on the 3 subscore scale. I think it's $45 for modern items at AFA, plus shipping to and back, plus the original cost of the item. So to get that for $95, even though it is only a CAS 85, that's still not a bad deal at all. Next up, this was an interesting one. This seller had some of these 4-pack kind of army builders that he had graded. This was an archival silver label 8.5 Shore Troopers 4-pack. And I mean, me personally, I don't really have a desire to own one of these graded, but somebody did send them in. And I know this seller because I've seen his Instagram post, and he had like 20 of them for all the different 4-packs, and this one sold in an auction for $52. So he kept back some of the higher grade ones, and he just kind of auctioned off the 8.5s, as you'll see in a lot of these listings and getting ready to show you, but 52 bucks, that's probably about, grading costs, if not a little bit less, plus $16 shipping. And then he also had the Imperial Death Trooper 4-pack. That was also an 8.5 on the AFA Modern Scale. That was a Pulse Shop Disney exclusive. That one sold for $106 plus $16 shipping. So I would imagine whenever, he probably does have these listed. Again, his name is Disruptor. I've never bought from him, so I can't speak to how good the experience is, but I know he does have some higher grade examples that are buy it now situations for a lot of these that I'm going to cover in this video. So if you have any interest in these, me personally, I don't. It's just a graded box, which doesn't really appeal to me all that much, unless it was like a vintage, mini rig or something. But anyway, that's what it went for, $106 plus $16 shipping. Here was an AFA 9.0 archival case Mandalorian. I mean, this is the very first Mandalorian TVC figure, and I know that they produce these in mass, okay? There's a lot of these out there on the market, so that's why they're so cheap. But to me, to get an archival case AFA 9.0 original issue Mandalorian VC 166 for $62.60 plus $17 shipping, I mean, that's a good buy. That's a really good buy. That's 80 bucks plus whatever your applicable sales tax is on eBay. That's a pretty good buy to me. I would buy that all day long at that price. He also had the Beskar Mandalorian. That one went for $78.77 plus $17 shipping. So a couple of really good deals on AFA 9.0 Mandalorians. Next up was the Child, also in an archival 9.0 grade. And that one sold for $78 plus $17 shipping. Another good price there. I never liked this one. I don't know why. I did have this one graded by CAS, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel right to me. It just feels, I don't know. It feels like a kid's toy or like one of those Hero Mashers or something. It just doesn't look right inside the blister. And I know part of it's just Grogu doesn't, he's a small character. I get that, but because of that frog and because of the way the pram is kind of situated inside the blister, this one just has never appealed to me for some reason. Or the Razor Crest pack-in with the chrome pram. I just, neither one of those has really appealed to me to have in my collection, so I sold off mine. But 78 bucks plus $17 shipping is not a bad price. This one surprised me on the upper end of the scale, though. This was an archival 9.0 grade Darth Vader from Rogue One, VC 178. This is a great card back. I love this card back, just awesome. And that one, again, was a 9.0 grade, and that one sold for $153.50 plus $17 shipping. So you're talking about $170 for a 9.0 Rogue One Darth Vader. That one seems a little high to me, but, it is a nice looking item and just an awesome, iconic card back. This one was an interesting one that's by KE Toys, who is local to me. I have bought from this seller before a long time ago. It's been a long time, but he had an uncirculated 9.75 Deluxe Boba Fett Tatooine. So a 9.75 grade is tough to find, and that one did sell for a big number, $213.50 plus $10.45 shipping. So let's call it about 225 bucks for an uncirculated 9.75 grade. That's about as high as you're going to get with AFA. I doubt you'll ever see a 100 grade or 10 grade. So really interesting sales price there. And then going back to Disruptor, he had an uncirculated 8.5 501st Legion Clone Trooper. This was obviously the reissue from 2022. That one sold for $36 in an auction that just ended today, February 10th, plus $16 shipping. So, that was a loss. I can guarantee you that. He took a loss on that one. Next up was Fennec Shan in an uncirculated 8.5. That I thought was a great deal for what was probably my favorite vintage collection release from 2022. Fennec Shan. It's just a beautiful figure. Amazing figure sculpt, fantastic card back. Everything about that card is perfect to me. And to get that one for 71 bucks plus $16 shipping, yes please, that is a great buy. And then this is the one I'd really like to get. This is the Obi-Wan VC 241 Dark Times Darth Vader. For some reason I canceled my Big Bad Toy Store collector grade. I probably shouldn't have because, as we all know, this one won a lot of awards from the vintage collection experts out there as being their favorite from 2022. And while it was not my favorite character, it certainly was an impressive one, and the card back's great as well. This one was an uncirculated 9.0, and it sold for $130 free shipping. I think that's a good buy. I wish somebody would grade these without the modern scale. They would go for the three sub-score grading, the classic grading style, and then have the label on the inside instead of up top. So if somebody does list one of those on eBay, I'd be really tempted to buy that. But $130, I think that's a pretty good buy there as well. Next up was an SDCC giveaway proof card for Boba Fett. This was graded 90. And it had a little bit of card curl to it, which is a common problem with those proof cards. But it did grade 90 with AFA. That one sold in an auction for $157.50 plus $10 shipping. That's about what I had this one in a CAS 90, and I think that's almost exactly what I sold mine for, $150. Next up, we're going to finish off on these. This seller, Power Droid, which I have bought from, both vintage Kenner figures as well as graded TVC. I could not believe the prices he got for some of these TVC 1.0 figures. Now, they were all uncirculated, but this is really interesting because the prices are substantially higher than where you can pick up near mint plus condition examples for these certain characters and then grade them yourself. Now, they wouldn't get the uncirculated designation, but I could not believe these prices. This was an uncirculated 9.25 Qui-Gon Jinn with the Darth Maul offer sticker. So, we've talked about this one in market updates, $70 or less. You can find these pretty easily in near mint plus condition, unpunched. This one was listed for $400. The best offer that was accepted was $325. So that's a big premium to pay for just getting that uncirculated grade. And admittedly, it was a 9.25, so a 90-plus condition. But as crazy as that one was, some of these others were pretty wild, too. This was an uncirculated 9.0 Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Phantom Menace, VC76. Again, with the Darth Maul offer sticker. That one sold for $250. So those two are pretty big. But this next one is the craziest, and I had to verify that this was an actual sale, and I did go to 130point.com and verify this. VC44, Luke Skywalker, Dagobah Landing, unpunched U.S. card, and this one did have the clear saber, and we talked about this in one of my recent unboxing videos, or maybe it hasn't come out yet, I don't know. But this clear saber, to me, is a little tougher to find, and it is an uncirculated grade. But, we've covered this one many times on the channel in near mint plus condition ungraded, going for between, let's call it $100 to $150. Closer to $150, if not $175, let's say. This one sold for $699 and change plus $19 shipping. So I am flabbergasted that actually sold. And I did go to, as I said, I went to 130point.com and verify that it was an actual sale and that it wasn't funny business. But again, I bought from Power Droid before and been very, very happy. And so I'm not trying to accuse him of anything because I just couldn't believe the price. I was like $700. It seems like I would say $300. $300 on the upper end for this would have been my estimate as to what this would sell for, not $719 after accounting for shipping. So that is a big number, but clearly somebody had to have it, and they wanted that uncirculated designation. But that is easily the most expensive VC44 Luke Dagobah Landing I've ever seen sell. And congratulations to the seller on that one. That's a big boy price right there. So anyway, pretty wide gamut of prices. There were some good deals, and there were some like this that I'm just shaking my head at. But just really interesting to kind of see what the vintage collection is doing, and we'll see how those reissues will fare for Weequay and Star Killer specifically as we get closer to their releases at retail. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back soon.